So a good probiotic is very, very healthy, but that's not the only thing. There really have to be good lifestyle choices to help with the immune system. A good night's sleep is one of them, and most of us aren't getting enough sleep. I know my mother used to always say, when we went to school, get a good night's sleep or you'll get sick. If you're not sleeping well enough, the immune system goes down and you're more prone. Exercise. We're supposed to be moving, not sitting all day long. So exercising regularly can be helpful. Proper diet, a healthy diet. And one thing that I found very interesting, the FDA yesterday just issued new guidelines to all the companies that are making the antibacterial soaps. And they want them to prove that they're safe for long-term use. And this has been in and out of the literature for a while, just like antibiotics orally, that we're using antibacterial soap. That's all you can find now in the liquid soap, and we're allowing resistant bacteria to come along. Now, there's studies that were done, and I'd like your opinion, that if you wash your hands properly, it's more effective than most of the antibacterials. But as our lifestyle gets more hectic, we wash our hands by putting soap on, doing this, and we're done. The proper way is to suds both sides under the nails, and the most important thing, according to the CDC, is to do it for 20 seconds. And if we can't spend 20 seconds to stay healthy, something's wrong. But a lot of people say, how do I know how long 20 seconds is? And somebody pointed out, if you sing while you're in the bathroom, people might look at you a little funny. The happy birthday song twice, that's about 20 seconds.
You can always sing in your head, I guess.
Yeah. And if you sing out loud, everyone will leave you alone. But can you explain how healthy choices can help the immune system as opposed to poor lifestyle choices, why that can grind you down?
I think a lot of people don't think about, say when you're sick, okay, what can I take to get this better? Obviously not getting sick in the first place is ideal, then you don't have to worry about it. So, the washing your hands, trying to not introduce the microbes into your body is great. Other things that we don't, doctors may not always talk about is diet, and what you're eating, even when you're sick. So when we think about sugar and excess sugar in the diet or carbohydrates. So a lot of, diets now are heavy on those things. They actually decrease your white blood cells, the cells in your body that fight infection, their ability to work well. And if you think about people with diabetes, they have a higher risk of infection, related to having that higher blood sugar. So if you can, really minimize sugar, at least for the most part, or when you're sick, not a good time to go out and eat a lot of sugar. That's really important. And thinking about stress, we always get sick around like the holiday, you're rushing around, or you're, have busy time, say at work, or, college students, they're home on
exams, and
they finish exams, and, sure enough, they're going to get sick. Stress and cortisol is not helpful for the immune system. It's really designed for fight and flight, run away from the woolly mammoth and survive,
and then calm down and get back to normal. So generally, if we slow down just a little bit, and just like our cars, if you need 93 octane, you're not going to use 89 octane. Same with our bodies. We really need to give it the fuel it needs to do its job. And our bodies were designed to be healthy.
Right.
And we seem to, how can we stress the body and see how much we can not do properly and stay healthy? So there's, we notice people, whether it be school or at work, it seems when somebody comes in with the flu or a bad cold, a third of the people will get sick, a third of the people will get very sick, and a third of the people don't get sick or just get the sniffles. And that's probably an indication of their health status and what they're doing to protect themselves.
Right.
So I guess prevention is the best medicine. There's been a lot over the decades of vitamin C. Linus Pauling did an awful lot of work. The zinc lozenges and echinacea. What are your thoughts on those?
Yeah, so these are great options. All of those three that you've mentioned do help to kill off viruses. They help to boost your body's immune system. So, with cold and flu, most of the time you're kind of just riding the wave until you get better. So, you know, you want to look for things that are going to help your body. It's really your body that's fighting off these infections. So if you can find, you know, things that help your body boost its own immune system, you're going to get better faster.
Yeah, and the zinc, usually it's in lozenges because it seems most of the viruses enter through the upper respiratory system. And if you're sucking on a zinc lozenge and you're coating the throat with zinc, that helps protect against that. Now, the other caution is too much zinc is no good, so you don't want to be chewing on zinc lozenges all the time.
Everything in moderation, I guess.
There are many homeopathics, herbal, nutritional protocols that a lot of practitioners and I recommend for my clients for immune system building. And the nice thing on the functional medicine side and on the health and wellness side is that we seem to be working at what can we do to help the body do what it's trying to do, as opposed to what can we do to suppress a symptom. And an example, antihistamines. If you have a runny nose from a cold, an antihistamine blocks the histamine, so the nose dries up. But that is really, in the long run, harming us or extending the cold because the body's trying to flush the virus out.
Right.
And so we want to do things to help the body. There are enzyme products that we can take. Our white blood cells work along with the enzymes to identify some of the invading bacteria and viruses, and then release the enzymes to eat holes in their coating, which they die. The viruses die. And so there's the enzyme products, there are nutritionals, there are herbals, there are homeopathics. There's been a problem the last few years on the pediatric side. A lot of the products have been pulled off the market because we never really studied them properly. We just assume a 200-pound adult uses this many milligrams, so a 10-pound child will use, you know, a smaller dose. And the FDA finally found that some of the doses were too high and most of the products weren't effective. So I'm sure you find in your practice, parents are scrambling. My child's up all night coughing. There's nothing, what do I give them?
Right.
And now there's some great choices. Some of the homeopathics are safe for newborns right through seniors. There's no drug interactions. And what I like to recommend is that people should talk to their practitioner because there are healthy choices to help the body. And if you help the body, you're going to get to the end point of being over the cold that much faster.
Right.
What do you?
Yeah, I think you know, especially with kids. I have a 1.5-year-old, so
you're
you
right
know,
in
when
that.
he's sick, it's tough. And you know, a lot of the over-the-counters that you might find at a, you know, CVS or something like that really aren't recommended by the Academy of Pediatrics. Really stay away from those for kids. They're not really shown to help at all, and they can be harmful. Even, you know, Tylenol, simple things like that. So you have to really be careful.
Yeah, Tylenol and the Motrin. I remember when my daughter was born 25 years ago, she had a fever. That was when Motrin was approved on prescription for infants. And they said, oh, just give her Motrin. That way her fever will be down for 8 hours and you'll all sleep. And I was thinking back to in school, they were saying ibuprofen is stressful on the liver, and an infant's liver isn't working at peak efficiency. So thank goodness it's finally out there to the public now that acetaminophen and ibuprofen shouldn't be taken all the time. It should only be used when you need it. And then to give it to kids, it's really a little crazy. So there are a lot of things. One thing that's coming back, some of the old-time remedies are coming back. The bit about putting someone, let's say the child into a bath if they have a high fever, and then putting them in, while they're damp, in flannel pajamas, then in bed with 3 or 4 blankets, and you get the heat, the body to generate more heat, and the immune system activates at 101 or 102. So we're almost hurting ourselves. You have a 99-degree fever and you take Tylenol. You're pushing it down. You're not letting your immune system work. So
well, it's similar to the runny nose, right?
Yeah.
You know, our body produces fever for a reason. It's to kill off the things you don't want there.
Now
you know, as long as it's not over 104 or something like that. You know, if it's excessively high, but it can have its function.
Suppression really isn't the best medicine.
Not always.